Welcome to episode 56 of Blue-Lusional.
It's been a terrible week.
Yeah.
Been a bad week.
Unfortunately.
We lost rights.
Yeah.
Again. Cool. Well, we started off. Well, before we started losing rights this week, there was some shenanigans going on. Jimmy Kimmel got, Trump all in a tizzy again because he was making some jokey jokes about him and Melania. Melania and Trump said, hey, you got to investigate this guy. We got to look into his licensing. And everyone said, don't make us push that button again. We will hit cancel and unsubscribe. Don't do it. Nothing happened. It's just funny to see him get all worked up because he can't take a fucking joke. In serious shit, though, so remember Katie Phang, who used to work for MSNBC, well, now MS Now, who's currently an independent journalist? She said, I am part of the resistance. And she is suing the District of Columbia for a full release of the Epstein files. She saw Todd Blanche hop in there and said, fresh meat, brother, let's go. We want to see the whole fucking thing. Everybody forgot? Not this gal. Okay? I want to see it. I want all of it, which means it'll go to Discovery. Can't wait. Can't wait. JD Vance is trying to distance himself. Okay. JD Vance, per The Atlantic, has been behind the scenes questioning the war in Iran. He's like, hey, man, Pete. He's questioning Pete Hegseth. He's wondering if, the people consulting Trump had given him advice or telling him the right stuff. He's been questioning some things. He's a little concerned. He's questioning that there was a depleting stockpile of munitions, and what if China just decides to go off the rails and say, you know what, we want to start conquering some places too, like Taiwan. Is the United States going to defend Taiwan? The United States is starting a fight with everybody. Listen, the first thing my brain went to when I saw this was every time JD Vance is questioning something, obviously JD Vance said that.
Yeah.
Number two, The Atlantic, the same Atlantic that it ended up in the Signal chat.
The
The same Atlantic where, remember, and last time with the Houthis and JD Vance was like, I don't know, guys. This should we really be
a group chat?
And then they kicked him out. I have no proof that these two things are connected, but I mean, But JD Vance is trying to position himself. Okay, anytime the war crimes pop up, JD's like, that's them. That's
that one,
them. Okay?
I didn't do that one.
The ICE stuff, I'm cool with. The removing people's rights, that's me. All that. Fuck yeah. War crimes, though, I don't want to go to The Hague. All right, that's a step too far for me. War crimes, okay? That's a step too far.
On top of the fact that Trump can't go to a lot of these countries because he's legally not allowed to, but usually the vice president is the one that handles a lot of the going to the foreign countries, meeting the ambassadors, schmoozing, really. And we watched Kamala Harris do it, which is why we said, she's going to be really great on foreign policy because she spent 4 years quite literally traveling around meeting ambassadors and presidents, and that was where she spent most of her time. And that's what JD Vance has to do. And what's happening right now is that they're fucking this up, and then he has to go get on the plane and go there and be like, hey. So when he positions himself, like kind of questioning things, it's because he's like, I don't want to have to answer for this. When I go overseas and NATO, everyone who's in NATO is staring at me. Because when I go there and I crack jokes, it doesn't work. And like when I actually like make fun of them, like remember when he used to like go over there all macho and like crack jokes and make fun of them? That didn't go over well. So now he's back to trying to schmooze. You can't schmooze when we're actively attacking everyone. It doesn't work.
The schmoozing doesn't work when you're a terrorist state. Like
Like, Trump was like,
You're
"You
you're
can't
you're
do it,
not
I'm
gonna be in
gonna
a
send my son-in-law. You won't
who is not an elected official. He has no titles, no positions. I'm just sending my son-in-law.
if you don't wanna go over there and schmooze for me."
That's literally like them being like, all right, guys, you don't want to fucking listen. I'm sending Devin and Casey over there.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, now watch out. And they're gonna be like, who the fuck is that?
It's Jared.
You know, Jared
It's
Kushner?
You've never heard of him?
They're like, yeah, what the fuck is he doing?
Now this is
Oh.
sort of the point where they're just canceling everything. You know what? Nobody go.
James Comey got indicted again because he posted a picture. I'm not even exaggerating. He posted a picture of 8647. And it wasn't him that did it. It was the picture of the beach, and somebody had the 8647 in the
Impersonation.
rocks. He got indicted for that. It's already fallen apart. The case has no. It's done. They're just doing this to be annoying. They're just annoying him
Todd Blanche literally,
at this point.
we can't indict everyone who says that. So many people.
He said it like 4 times this week. He said it again this morning. They're like, so are you going to like prosecute everybody who has the numbers 8647? And he's like,
No,
yeah, that does kind of sound kind of dumb, doesn't it?
that would be a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of
No.
people who say that, so that would be a lot.
No, we just don't like James. And then even restaurant employees now are like, yeah, so like when you 86 something, that means like you just like toss it, not like murder.
They're like,
So
in our eyes, it's murder.
you don't like him, so that means you want to murder him. You actually tried last week, liberal. This is why we need a ballroom.
Yep. It's all part of the plan. Well, in honor of the 250th anniversary, you too can go to get a passport in July if you live in Washington, D.C., and you're one of the first 25,000 people to go in person and get a commemorative limited edition Trump passport. Go for it. Now everyone's like, my God, all of our passports. Take a deep fucking breath. If you don't live in Washington,
Relax.
D.C., you're just not even a part of the conversation. If you are in Washington, D.C., and you don't want to have a Trump passport, then don't go get one in July. You could renew your if your passport just so happens to expire in July, you could renew it right now and
Yeah, I
not
was gonna say
get a
just do it
Trump
now.
passport. And you also have to go in person. So if you renew your passport in July online in Washington, D.C., you're not getting that one. But if you don't even want to risk it, you could just renew it early. Or if you don't need to renew it in July, you're not leaving the country in July or anytime soon, then you could just wait, renew it after.
It's if you want to
Really?
do it now, it's fairly quick. It's under a month. It's less than a month.
Here's who's going to get it. Everyone who's MAGA in DC that works in DC.
They don't have money to get passports.
Trump and his family.
Bro,
It's brokey.
they're gonna be spending it to fill up their fucking tank. They don't have money for.
They don't have passport money. Yeah, like you literally could just not, like you have
Don't
to
get it.
really try to get this passport. So please take a deep breath. Yes, it's awful. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it's like, what the fuck? But like, I'm not surprised. I'm just not anymore. I'm not surprised.
Make a wish kid shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's really what can I put my face on in the near future because I don't have much time left.
All right, big guy. You only got a couple months left. What's left on the list? I want to be on the passport.
Okay, but we could really only do that in a very small vacuum.
What do you mean?
It's gonna be a photo op.
Gross.
He's gonna go there. He's gonna take a picture with it. It's gonna be
Yeah.
stupid and dumb and not worth you guys getting yourselves all wrapped up in.
This is
It's nothing.
not the end.
It's not the end. Well, Trump took some cognitive exams and he went on a tangent about them. I want to take you on the ride of the tangent. So we started by saying that he took the cognitive exams because the doctors alluded to the fact that he's dumb as fucking rocks and should probably take them. Yes, he said that. The doctors were like, "You should probably take these." And then he started by saying, "It was so easy. The question's easy. They showed me a couple pictures of some animals and they asked me to pick out which one's a bear." And then he said, but it was actually really hard because I had to like add numbers and multiply and then divide and then subtract and then divide
Oh,
again. And like it was hard. It was hard, even though I just said it was easy. Then he went on to say, in front of his supporters he was speaking to, his supporters told them they wouldn't pass the test. You guys wouldn't have passed it. Hate to say, you guys are dumb as fuck.
do you guys think you could pick out a bear?
You wouldn't have passed that. And then he was like, I think that all the presidents should take a cognitive exam. I think they all should. I'm the only president that has ever taken a cognitive test, and I passed all of them.
Sure,
A's
buddy.
across the board. I'm not going to show you. Just trust me, bro. Just trust me, bro.
Sh-
So,
Sure, big
one
guy.
tangent, he basically said the test was really easy, but also really hard. Some things can be hard and easy. He also said that his supporters are fucking dumb and wouldn't pass it, and then said, maybe the other president should do it because it's really making me look bad. You guys are only asking me to take this.
Why don't they have to pick out the
He was
bear?
like, Obama wouldn't have been able to pass it. Went to Harvard Law, wouldn't be able to pass it. He was trying to convince himself as he was saying it. Yeah,
Just no fucking way Obama can figure this
I mean, he went to Harvard.
away. There's no
There's no
look at the
way. He said it. Biden, we're not even going to discuss that.
2 + 3. You think Biden can put that together?
Well, guys, he knows how to choose the picture of the bear. Choose the bear. He's so good at it, he took it 3 times just to be sure. I don't know about you, but when I pass my test, I make sure that I take it another 2 times just to be
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Triple check your work.
Well, everybody, give your condolences to Spirit Airlines. Rest in peace, Spirit Airlines. Last week, we talked about the fact that Trump was trying to cut a deal with Spirit Airlines to basically be their disappearing hub. That they would basically use Spirit Airlines to disappear people out of the country. And that plan didn't work. He touched it and everything he touches dies. So
Lasted a
he
week.
said, wait, that's gonna cost money. We don't have money. Sorry. And Spirit was like, we're gonna go broke. Like everything you've done just the past 6 months has literally killed us. We do not resuscitate. We are that far down bad. And he was like,
How much I can
we
do?
also don't have money. So I don't know what you want. And so they closed in the middle of the night, closed up shop.
Abruptly.
They said, if you need us, don't. You have a flight with us? No, you don't. You have a flight home with us? No, you don't.
Sorry.
You want a refund? You can try. If you bought with points, you didn't. I expected nothing less from
Yeah.
Spirit Airlines. This is their customer service when they were open.
Yeah.
You have a flight with us? No, you don't.
Continuing the tradition.
This is the tradition. Trump immediately blamed, of course, Biden for it, and Pete Buttigieg completely to blame for the whole thing. Not, going to a war and flight prices skyrocketing on a budget airline or two government shutdowns that have lasted over 30 days and people not wanting to travel because, planes are crashing into each other. Yeah. Everybody is their
None of
own
that.
pilot on the plane, their own air traffic control. Whenever I've been on a plane, I'm doing my own air traffic control. So many things have led to this. Everything he touches dies. I mean, they're never going to take accountability, but what he is saying is that he is working with the other airlines to try and keep the prices down on the flights.
Okay.
Let's keep it down a little bit. Other areas, like other airlines have tried to offer resolutions. That's nice of them. Trump's like, "That okay, if you all wanna do that." But people are
just make sure
stranded.
you don't hire anyone.
Yeah, don't hire anyone. For traffic control's like, "Oh, okay, less flights. I have to watch as one person at Newark Airport." But the bigger picture is that in the middle of the night, over 11,000 flight attendants were laid off, thousands of pilots, thousands of employees overnight.
Boom.
Boom. And nothing for them. It's not like this was in the works for weeks and they transferred them to a different airline. No, no, no. It was
No severance.
I watched a video of them on a plane where the pilot knew that it was his last flight and was like crying on the intercom, telling everybody that he was just told that this would be his last flight. And everyone was like, that's not really the message you want to hear from your pilot before they take off. I'm sorry if I was on the plane and the pilot came on. Sorry, it's gonna seem distasteful, but like if I was on the plane as somebody with insane flight anxiety, and the pilot was like crying because this is
Nope.
his last flight, they're closing down Spirit. I don't have anything lined up. I would have been like, "This is
I have nothing left.
the last
Like,
flight."
mm-mm,
I'm gonna
I gotta go.
I would have gone full blown. The lady that's like pretending people aren't real on the plane, that there were aliens on the plane. I would have started doing the plane.
Like, yeah, hold on. We all need to come. Everybody,
Everybody get
hold on.
off the
Stand up.
plane. And everyone was like, "I feel so bad, like, I'm crying from like, me too, but, like, I'm not kidding, I'm not taking
Same,
off."
but hold up.
Like, everyone was like, "Wait a second. Wait." Like,
Is he good though?
how it was handled, though. They were like, hey, John, this will be your last flight.
Hey, John, you're fired. Iran.
You're gonna fly to the Dominican Republic and then figure out your way home.
Yeah. Leave the plane. Get
You leave the plane behind, get off the plane, take your stuff. Like, this is what they did to people, and then they were like, "And then fly your plane to the next location."
Mhm.
I don't know. Guys, I feel terrible.
Classic Trump
I just
administration.
was watching that video like, "This is got it."
I mean, this is how they're running the federal government, so you're fired now.
They really are just low key got not even low key, they're high key trying to be like, "If you're broke, don't fly. Get rid
Uh-huh.
of these budget airlines. If you can't afford it,
Yep.
you're not flying." That's what
That's
they're
only
trying
for
to
the
do.
rich. Yeah. You brokey shouldn't even be in the sky. Stick to the
Nobody touch
ground.
Frontier. Nobody fucking touch Frontier. I swear to God. I swear to God. Leave Frontier alone because I will have a whole conniption. Rest in peace, Spirit. I'm sorry. This shit sucks. People are without a job. It's
Exact
never good
Mhm.
at all. And if you were
Facts.
somebody who was laid off and you're upset, please vote this November. Please. Please,
Yep.
for people that have your best interest at heart. It's not
You know what to do.
Republicans. No matter how much they tell you it was Joe Biden's fault. If it was Joe Biden's fault, Spirit Airlines would have closed down years ago. Let's be
During the time he was president.
during the time he was president. I'm not saying Spirit Airlines was balling, but
But they
after
weren't
war
this.
and 2 long-term government shutdowns, they tend to do something. I don't
Just a
know, maybe
bit.
it's just me. Alright. Things we need to actually be very concerned about, things where I say, "You guys focus on other things and you miss this." So, the US appeals for the Fifth Circuit, which is one of the most conservative federal courts in the country, have revoked access for the main version of an abortion pill. Mifepristone, I believe is how it's pronounced. If that's not how it's pronounced, I'm pretty sure it is, but it's
Yeah.
it's the pill you get to have an abortion. And so they've revoked access for you to get it in the mail and for you to be prescribed it via a telehealth provider, meaning that you can now only get it in person. You have to go in person to see your healthcare provider, and they have to prescribe it and give it to you in person. That just happened. everywhere. And they are framing it by saying that the FDA has gotten a little, lax by letting it come in the mail and letting telehealth get involved. And is it even safe? Even though multiple studies have shown that this abortion pill is very safe. And in any case, you being given this pill in person, going home and taking it is no different than you getting it in the mail and taking it. If there were complications from getting it in person, you'd still go to the ER. If
Yeah.
you had complications from getting it in the mail, you would still go to it's not a different pill that you get in the mail. It's the same one. It makes no sense. This is them. There's two parts to this tangent that I'm going on. One is, of course, at the end of the day, they don't want you to be able to get an abortion. So they're going to take away all ways to do it. The bigger issue here is that this court is taking away the one gap that was filled. And what I mean by that is that over the last 10 years, supply and demand in healthcare has been the worst it's ever been. You are waiting months to see a healthcare provider. And for women to go see an OBGYN, it's even worse. It is even worse. This big, beautiful bill that passed, gutting healthcare funds. So clinics closing down, hospitals closing down, people leaving the field to go find jobs elsewhere so that they can feel more secure. So not as many nurses, not as many doctors, meaning you are not going to be seen in person. As somebody who couldn't get a gynecologist appointment for 4 months, 4 months, how is this going to work? Well, then over time, they started filling these gaps, and actually, COVID was a big factor in it because people couldn't go in person to start seeing your healthcare provider via telehealth and having your prescriptions mailed to you. That's not a crazy, outlandish thing. It was filling a gap because nobody wanted to address the actual problem, which is funding healthcare. So now you've taken that away because they know the bigger issue. They know that issue exists, and they're like, well, if we take away telehealth and mailing the abortion pill, and they can't go in person to get it, then they're not going to have an abortion. You see, the problem is, yes, they are. They are, and that they're going to do whatever they have to do, and it's not going to be safe, and people are going to die. You didn't limit access to abortion. You limited access to safe abortions. That's what you did. So anybody saying they're not taking away your rights, nobody's taking away your reproductive rights. You just need to go in person. You need to make an appointment and go in person. Are just living in some whatever bubble they're in. Okay, so you saying I don't want to have to get an abortion 4 months in. But what you're now saying is I'm going to have to get an abortion at 4 months pregnant because I couldn't get an appointment to do it right away. Or I'm going to do what I got to do it a very unsafe way. You're going to see women throw themselves down staircases. You're going to see coat hanger.
Yep.
Just the most unsafe ways to do it. Because when people don't want to have a child, they're going to do everything they can not to. I just, this is not, this is not good. This is literally, we are watching what will be the next generation of women have less rights than we do.
Yep. Yep.
It's just you
There's even an added
attention.
layer with all these fucking wackos. They're all white Christian nationalists who subscribe to the great replacement theory. They see that birth rate is down. They do not want white women to get rid of those babies. They said, no, 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 no. We need more. We're gonna be a minority soon. You want more black people and Hispanic people and Asian people to outnumber us? No. You gotta have those kids. Come on. So they can work in our factories.
You think they're not? Just check my comment section. Just check my comment section.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's fun.
that's where we're at, and we will see what happened. But that was the appeals court decision, and again not shocking. Perfectly laid out in Project 2025,
Written
um,
down.
but it doesn't make it any easier to hear and accept when it does happen.
Yeah, now that was feeling like Roe v. Wade again.
Mhm.
Hey guys, the war's over. All right.
We won.
Trump said so. We won
How many times?
for like 27. Like the 27th dub we got. They never saw it coming. He told Congress that he told them it's over. He said the war's over. That's what he told Congress. The only thing with that is that it's not. He only said it because the War Powers Act only allows a president to conduct military action for 60 days without congressional approval. That 60 days is coming up because we started February 28th. And actually, yeah, we're there. It's over.
Well,
So it's over. We're still over there bombing them, but the war's over.
the war
Okay?
part of it
There
over. The, what did
there
he
is no
call it?
he said it was unconstitutional. He said it's unconstitutional to ask for congressional approval. There's that. There's no war in Bossing say. It's not
No, they're
happening.
just over there hanging out. It's that meme, "What are you doing?" "Nothing." Looking around.
They're just over there vibing.
They're vibing with their rations.
Yeah.
Just in case, the ship's out there. Who's gonna block
Bro.
the Strait of Hormuz if we leave?
If they're not dying from getting fucking smoked, they're gonna die from starvation.
Who's gonna
Like
block
it's
the
literally
blockade?
it's a one-way ticket.
Who's gonna extra block it?
And then before we started, now Iran has sent an ultimatum saying that the United States has 30 days to remove their blockade or the war will continue. Not really much of a threat when that's what they want, but right.
It's basically them.
So yeah,
When were you gonna tell us the war was over?
we're in a fucking forever war. Like that's
Is
just
it
that
one war?
I've accepted it at this point. We're in another forever war. Did anyone tell them?
Did anybody
We'll
tell
find out
us?
tomorrow morning in a Lego video.
Yeah.
We'll find out tomorrow. And then unfortunately Cuba is next.
They got a fast
Okay.
track, They don't have much time.
You got to take over everything. And then also, while we're on that topic, I want to talk about fucking people talking about the rotating villain theory because they had a war powers vote 2 weeks ago to try to stop whatever they're trying to do in Cuba. People are going, oh, well, how is it always that, that just enough Democrats vote for these bills to get blocked? You need 51 votes of a simple majority, right, for a bill to pass in the Senate. The Democrats have 47. So how is somebody rotating just to get it? It was never going to pass. It was never going to pass. Where is the 51 coming from when we have 47? See, the thing is, you guys don't know how to count. And then you think you know how government works. And it's fucking infuriating.
It's because it really is that simple.
What are you talking about?
Math is math. 47 doesn't equal 51.
It just doesn't.
Just doesn't. I'm so sorry.
John Fetterman, John Fetterman was always a bad option.
Yeah.
But you guys don't listen.
Never. He's a white man,
He chased a black guy with a shotgun that was just jogging before. Oh, but John Fetterman had a stroke and he had brain damage. This was before his fucking primary. But he wears hoodies and shorts. He's just like me for real. And then you get mad. He's the rotate. You put him there. You said he was good. You said I like his shorts.
You guys did.
This is your fault. Blame yourself, Brad. Okay. Speaking of losing rights, I did speak to one of our friends earlier, Attorney D. You've most likely seen her on TikTok or YouTube. She is doing the breakdowns of anytime some legal stuff goes down. So I asked her about the voting rights being gutted this past week, voting rights at Section 2, because since we are fact-based, we like to speak to people who actually know what they're talking about and, not just make up random fucking theories as to what's going on. We want to actually know what's up. So that is what this next segment is. Attorney D, DI.
Yes,
YouTube,
we'll link
TikTok.
all of her socials down below for you. Please go give her a follow. Please watch her videos because again, she is an attorney. She knows what she's talking about. And
She
whenever a
knows.
bill is introduced, she actually will go on live and read it line by line with you. It's like bedtime stories, except she's reading you bills and telling you what's hidden in there. It's actually really
Yeah,
soothing.
so if you
Really pretty nails, and she uses a pen, and she goes
mhm.
line by line like a teacher. It's great.
Yeah, so if you don't wanna be loud and wrong about how the government works, you can just go watch her,
Just go watch her.
so you don't sound like an idiot in our comment section,
We
'kay?
frequently ask her for help all the time. We're like, "Help is should we spiral over this? Help. What does that mean?"
And now we were just like, "Alright, you just
She
gotta
just goes, "Come on, let's talk to it."
just come here."
So enjoy.
Okay, so I am here with Attorney D, and since we are fact-based on this podcast, we wanted to bring her on to talk about what happened with the Voting Rights Act this past week. So instead of listening to us, who have absolutely no type of legal degrees or anything, we said, let's talk to an actual attorney that actually knows what they're talking about. So, Attorney D, thank you for coming on the
I'm
Blue-Lusional
happy to be
podcast.
here. Happy to be here.
Yes. So, let's talk about the Voting Rights Act, Section 2, it being gutted. Let's start at the beginning because people are loud and wrong. So what is it? What is the
Oh,
Voting Rights Act?
right. So I think a lot of people get it mixed up with other civil rights at the time. So I think it's good to just really start by saying we've got a ton of federal statutes that cover voting. A ton. And actually, voting is mentioned the most times in the Constitution. So that's really great. But we had a huge, when I say we, I say the United States of America, right? We were winning when we had the Voters' Rights Act that was passed. I think it was 1968. Forgive me if I'm wrong with my years, but let me just make sure I'm double checking. 68, yes. So
Good.
Congress came in and said, look, we need to have something to support this new, well, it's not new in the 60s, but our people of color, right? They wanted to actually do that in the 60s. That was part of the civil rights movement. And so they put kind of this gem in and it passed. And that was the Voters' Rights Act. Now, the line that goes in right after the name of the act says for the 15th Amendment. Because it says that, in my humble opinion, it's supposed to be for the 15th Amendment, right? So, and of course, the 15th Amendment states you cannot pass a law or discriminate, right, against anyone based off of color when it comes to voting. We've had problems, poll taxes, literacy tests. We've had those kinds of issues. We've had to make another amendment, especially for poll taxes. But now what we're dealing with is it's going through the courts, and we've got a bit of a problem with the Supreme Court right now. I don't know if you've noticed.
Just a bit, right?
Just a little bit, right? So it seems like there's a plan here that's been in place where there's really three corners to the Voter Rights Act that are being attacked, right? So the first one, of course, would be Shelby. Then we had another case I can't remember how to say, Burnick. I don't know if that's wrong. And then now we have Calais. And
Mm,
those three pieces are what have just pounded away at this Voters Rights Act, right? One of the most important things with the Voter Rights Act is that it opened the door and made sure that there was at least, in my opinion, a habeas corpus when it comes to voting rights and race. We had so many different pieces to it that I thought, well, all right. But by opening this door, what's happened is the Supreme Court has just, I wouldn't say gutted, but I would
okay.
say is slowly pulling out the power
Yeah.
behind the act. And that's really what we're seeing in the Calais case. So if you stop me anytime, I could go for days. So let me.
You're good. You're good. Here to
All
learn.
right, all right. Now, the big thing is a couple things. The big things, we've already had several sections pulled out of the Voting Rights Act.
Right.
Shelby did it. Basically, it's saying you have to get your stuff reviewed before you can do it. because there's some states that are like, we're still, the war of northern aggression. And because of that, you got to get that stuff checked out because they're in the union now, right? Everybody needs to follow the rules. And so they need to go check somebody out. And they're like, we don't want it. We don't want it. Everybody else gets to do it. It's like, well, that's because, we're not the racist. So we don't have to. Anyway, they got mad. So in Shelby, they're like, all right, fine, whatever. You don't have to approve it. Boom, boom. 2 sections we lost under Shelby. Section 5 and Section 4, I believe. So that was a really big hit. And then coming back in, and the one that we have for Calais right now, they pulled Section 2 out. So that piece of it where it said essentially making the maps when it comes to congressional stuff, you need to kind of have that reviewed first to make sure it's not blatantly racist. And again, just the facts here. But when you take a look at really what the teeth were, right, of the Voting Rights Act, it was forcing state legislatures to make sure that they weren't going bonkers with their districts. It was like the last piece that we had in the Voting Rights Act. So we've taken a lot of hits. Section 2, it's a hit. It has not been pulled, but the intent behind it, Alito is like, whatever with that. Exactly. Now, Alito, my least favorite justices.
Well,
I think it's
Clarence Thomas for
easier.
me.
Well, heck yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, he came in, gosh, he wrote the Dobbs case, right? The AB
You're right.
case. And he's like, whatever, hostile, waiting for decades in order to do what he's done. Even with Harvard, right? Where we're dealing with different types of POC racism, right? And so he came in and he wrote it very simply. We're following the wrong law. This doesn't mean this anymore. Race is not supposed to be included in anything. They just put it right out there, the master plan. He's like, the Constitution's colorblind, and we no longer have racial issues. To that, my response would be, how's it colorblind when it's got color in the language, right?
Literally.
Yeah. So no, it will never be colorblind because it can't. No one's scratching that stuff out. So anyway, he basically just came in and said Section 2, where you have to go get your approval or put your maps together, you can't use color or race as an element. So now this kind of goes back into our racial profiling with Kavanaugh, where we have our Kavanaugh stops, right? Walking around, if someone's a person of color, you're like, boom, what you doing? How's it going? Let's pass you down. That's awful. You're not supposed to do that. But now we've got that in our voter worlds. We've got that in even designing the districts. Now, I'm not going to say it's gutted. I'm not going to say that because what I see is by removing Section 2, which goes into the maps, is we're bringing it together with all of our other, like, racist federal laws. Right? That's not great. And it's a huge blow to civil rights, of course. One thing to remember, though, is that Section 2 was not what it is today for very long. It passed in the 80s. They rewrote Section 2. So the original intent behind Section 2 in the 60s, we added to it. So we've only really even had Section 2 protection since the 80s. So if you think about it, if you're like a Gen Xer and the 80s were like 2 years ago, you're like, all right, that's not too bad. But it is bad. What ultimately is going to have to happen is that people have to work harder. Our courts have to work harder. That happened with basically the turning of the Chevron doctrine, with Dobbs, with all of those huge landmark cases. Like, we got to work harder as attorneys in courts. But working harder is still possible until we can get a Congress come in and clean it up. And that, in my opinion, is what we really need. So that's my intro for like 9 minutes.
Well, that's the goal for this year. We need the new Congress to come clean these things up. This is why we keep telling people voting matters. So my next question, though, is, so everybody realizes that this is an attack on the civil rights and liberties of people of color, definitely Black people specifically. But I don't think they are realizing that this will also snowball and affect other people. So how would this decision affect white people when it comes to their voting rights in the South.
Right,
Well,
right,
everywhere,
right.
but South is the start.
Right, right. Well, and yet, I mean, even with this case, with the Calais case versus the Robinson case, which kind of
Mm,
joined in with Calais, the question that got brought to the table in a different lawsuit, and they said, hey, we think your drawings, your maps are rubbish because of race
mm,
issues. And that was a district court. So they appealed it and then they made a new map and they're like, okay, this one is too accommodating, right? And then they kicked it up to the Supreme Court. So what the Supreme Court has said again is that we have to be colorblind, and that's supposed to go both ways, right?
mhm.
But in my opinion, and I've said this many times, it reminds me of Plessy v. Ferguson, right?
Okay.
Separate but equal. It's like, no,
Mhm.
we can get you something that will accommodate things. But in reality, if you look at what happens, it's another piece of segregation, in my
Yes.
humble opinion.
Yes.
And I think that's an ongoing issue that clearly, in my opinion, Alito does not understand. But when it comes to the white people, I don't know if I'm supposed to use the acronym or not. The white tea people.
Oh,
Be
you're
careful.
good. You're good. For YouTube,
All
Substack,
right. Just
Spotify.
right. Just don't slur them. Got it. When it comes to the white people voting, and I don't think they realize this either, is, we're all living in the States together. Now, if you want to draw your lines whichever way, like a salamander, which is the original gerrymandering piece,
Hmm.
because it looks like a salamander usually,
Mm.
how is that not going to affect all of the white people living in the state too, right? So when you're kind of messing around with that and you're like, well, I just want to get one color, like good freaking luck. We are in other jurisdictions. We all live together. And there might be a majority here of one particular group, so to say, basically segregated and kind of drawn around. The thing is, we've got some questions about what actually is white, and Alito referred to that
Mm.
when he was talking about this case. Like, well, what is white? What is white? Like, I'm sorry, what? There's different levels. Again, like in Plessy, where it was like we've only got 1/8
Mm.
African American in this person, and he's in the back of the train. 1/8. So now we're starting to get into these other questions too on how is your race? Are we going to be somehow tested to see if we are white enough? And as of course a multiracial woman, I worry about it. But the fact that Alito even brought it up is like, holy crap, that guy's thinking about it.
We're going back.
We're
What
going
are we
back,
gonna do?
but
We're
to
gonna start
going back.
segregating the Italians and the Irish again?
Exactly.
Mm.
And, you think about those groups that got dinged so hard that were traditional white groups
Mhm.
of immigrants coming to the country. And, we're everywhere, man. I mean, I'm partially white. I'm, mixed up, and I love that about myself. But are they going to start, writing out who's who and what's what? So we need to know your citizenship. We also need to know your voting party. We also need you to clarify your race. And
Mhm.
you keep going further and further and further, and it's not a good look.
It's the slipperiest slope.
Absolutely.
Another thing I think people are getting caught up on is I think they're taking this in a very literal sense. So they're like, "Oh, okay, the Voting Rights Act got messed with, but but black people can still vote. So what does that mean? So what do you mean? What do you mean?"
Right, right. Well, and again, that goes back to, well, first of all, nobody reads the stinking law anymore. I'm
Oh,
like, listen, read the rules. I'm talking to you, justices. But anywho, you know the Voting Rights Act, you're like, woohoo, that's for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's for any person who is feeling as though they're unable to vote because of their color or race. That could be white race. That could be people of color. It includes that. But because the 15th Amendment is the ship we're, riding in here with the Voter Rights Act, we got to pay attention to that. You can't
yeah.
just cut it out. And I think that's one of the most dangerous things, honestly, that's going on right now is this concept of, well, the Constitution doesn't see color. And I think for people to kind of find some safety in that on the one hand is like, all right. But I think at the end of the day, one thing that has really come out of pulling the VRA and even dinking around with some of our other voting statutes, we even had some problems with the SAVE Act. And so, misogyny's up and running. Like people who were not experiencing a life of a person of color or a family of color or whatever support have come and said, we had no idea things were this bad. We had no clue things were this bad. We thought everything was over and that we didn't need these equal rights laws anymore because we're fine. We're good. Check it. Let's move on. And that is an enormous hurdle that we're going to have to get over because that's John Roberts is that way. Obviously, Alito's that way. Obviously, anything that can harm people will be Thomas. And so, we've got this
Mhm.
issue here where they're like, oh, it's over. And with the power to change so much. And of course, we've got that great quote from Justice Ginsburg. Like, if it stops raining, it doesn't mean you throw away your umbrella, right? It just means
Mhm.
right now it stopped raining. And I think truly that's one of the biggest issues right now and in the future, quite frankly, is there a moment in time when our racism and the hatred has stopped? To that, I would say no. And I think we're on a journey. And some of the things that made it a bit more equitable, a bit less painful, they're knocking them out. They're just
Yeah.
knocking them out.
Yeah. People don't realize that, when all these laws were the civil rights movement was not, they had colored photos. Like, this was not a long time ago. Ruby Bridges has a
Mhm.
TikTok page. Like, the VRA did not even last a generation
Right.
before they started messing with it. Like,
Yeah.
these are the people that are making laws right now. The people that were in like grade school, like your
Right.
mammy and your pappy, pop-up, they were all alive saying, we don't want that black kid in our school. They're still here.
Yeah.
So I'm not, yeah, I'm not shocked that they're trying to do this. It was written down
Right.
also. So,
I think so too. And I think the other thing, again, is if you're not experiencing it in your world, you're not going to understand where it comes from. For me, because I spent so many years in the criminal justice world, it's so apparent the racism. It's like you can't even walk into your office. It's like racism constantly. Because I think I've sat in that for a really long time that I've recognized more than a lot of people have. So what I would say is some of those allies out there, I'm not always good with the lingo, I apologize, but with I don't know what they want to be called right now. But if you really want to understand if we've got race or not, I would recommend go to the courthouse. Go to
mm,
the courthouse, go to a trial, go and look and see what's going on in our criminal justice system, because that's the canary, in my opinion,
mm,
in the mine. Because this isn't a shock for anyone who's been working criminal law for a long time, but it does show how many people have no idea what goes on.
they really don't. And then they just want to be loud and wrong about it. So I am seeing people throwing the blame on Biden's administration
Sure.
for not protecting this, even though this was codified. Is there merit to that?
I don't know. This is really a weird situation with Biden because I feel and Obama, because this
Mm-hmm.
is a situation where we don't have people being like, "Oh, I hated him," like they did with FDR. Like my
Mm-hmm.
great grandpa was like, "He's awful. We hate him." I'm like, "He's gone now, grandpa." You know? Like what are we doing here?
He's
But
dead.
and you complain well, you know what I'm saying. You complained
Yeah.
about that. We all complained about the prior presidents, of course, but there's something, in my opinion, that is extra here. There's kind of this almost next level of blame and hatred that are going in the direction of Obama and Biden. And you can't have one without the other, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because Biden was the VP, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that they go in and say Biden's done anything, that sentence is already suspect to me.
Yeah.
That's already suspect. And
Yeah.
also to note as well, the true damage that's being done is not up to the president. It's up to Congress. It's up to the courts. So I'm not thinking when they're like, oh, Biden did it. I'm like, did what, right? I mean, he used the power he had, which wasn't very much. And so now when you flip back over into the Trump era, it's weird I don't have to
Mhm.
call him Mr. Orange here. But now that we're in the Trump area, and that's like your other grandpa that's like a jerk and says inappropriate stuff at dinner, and everyone's like, "Go have a nap, grandpa." That's like who's in charge right now. And it's freaking me out. So I don't think Biden missed protecting anything because his job is to protect the Constitution and federal statutes as best as he can, but you got to work within the four corners,
Yeah,
unlike Trump, who's like,
like,
four corners, F that, I'm out of here.
I'm like, I don't know what you guys want Biden to fist fight the Supreme Court? Because
Right.
he can't, I don't know what he's supposed to be able to do there with the Supreme
Hmm.
Court justices that were appointed
Right.
by Trump in his first administration. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
lifetime. Can't do much there.
it is. And, of course, I'm sure with those of us that are kind of in here trying to look around and see, like, oh my God, when are we going to get to clean it up? But, we told people that. We really went out and we told people and we said, before you put him in office, I hope you understand the damage to the Supreme Court that we're going to have. And they didn't care. They didn't
Hillary told
believe
us.
us. Yeah. So it didn't go down that road, in my humble opinion, that would have helped. Although, quite frankly, we're not ready for a woman. I think if it had been another fella running against the Trump, I think we would have had better luck. But again, my
Yeah.
opinion.
So with them doing that to redraw their maps, and I believe it's Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, they're all calling special sessions to redraw their maps as well. With the way elections have been trending, do you think this is going to hurt us or hurt them more?
It's a good question. That's a really good question. One of the big things that makes it difficult is because if it does stop, if they're really truly stopping and going forward and redrawing through whatever means they're doing, there's gonna be some cases, man. People are gonna be
Yeah.
getting sued left and right. Now, we
Yeah,
might
they're
say
already getting sued in Louisiana.
exactly, and not necessarily the, kind of it's like, "Oh, it takes 5 years." No, they're gonna rocket this up through whatever they
Yeah.
need because they need it right now,
Yep.
but right, because everything's happening so quickly. So this is reminding me a bit of the 2000 election with Al Gore, where it's like, we
Mm,
gotta be a little bit careful with our courts because they can get a little bit sloppy, but you just keep appealing, appealing, appealing it.
yeah.
So I think, in my opinion, doing something like this hurts both. It
Yeah.
hurts both because I think it undermines the election process. Like,
Right.
we have rules you have to follow. These rules are what keep things level and equal when we're fighting through a battle, like voting. But when you start dinking around with that, where that's like our last piece of, what we really need to hold on to in this country, I think it really undermines the whole process. And that's the
It's
part
sad.
that worries me.
It's sad. It's sad. All right. So the last question I have: what can we do? How do we fight back? How do we how do we make sure this never happens again?
Right, right, right. Well, never's a very long time, I would say. Never's an extremely long time. But right now, you've probably seen this in some of my posts. Right now, I've got 750 lawsuits up on my closet docket.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. You can't
That's a lot.
win 750 lawsuits. You can't. So something is going to happen with that.
Something's gonna stick.
But honestly, I know a lot of people are saying, we're burnt out, we're tired, we've been protesting, and we're in the long haul. This is like a marathon
Yup.
situation.
Battle of
And to
attrition.
that, right? To that, I would say, but it's working. It's working. And I'm not sure people are really seeing how well it's working because
Yeah.
you're in your own community and then you're hearing the news and you're like,
Yep.
I'm doing everything and it doesn't matter. It matters. It really is. When it comes to making a show of protesting, of actually going out, it helps the protester. Like, I got stuff to say. And it also shows the people responsible for the problem. Like, we're here. We see what you did. You did not get away with it. And that's one of the things that I think Trump is really experiencing now and didn't in his previous world that he lived in, where people saying, "You're a dumbass. Like, what are you doing?" Right? I mean, he was just like, "You're
Uh-huh.
great.
The
We love
yes
you. You're
men.
so, go ahead and grab them." And it's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so
Yuck.
gross." But now the American
Yuck.
people are like, "You know what? You're not. You're not great, and we don't want this." So rest and then get back up again. Get your signs, get your movement together, get a bit more sugar because we're all exhausted, right?
Mm-hmm.
But keep doing it. We gotta hold the line, and then once November hits and we see what happens there, I think that'll be the moment when we can all, like, for 24
Gotta
hours, well,
vote.
right, for 24 hours,
Gotta
we'll be
vote.
like, "Everybody's out there voting, and it's great," and then we can
Uh-huh.
sleep. We can sleep for 2 days and wake up and see what's happened.
And then right back to work.
Oh,
Because it
well,
does not stop there.
it certainly doesn't, but hopefully, we can tag to the legislators and be like, "Hey, can you do your job now? Because 'Cause we're tired of trying to
Yeah.
do your job
Hey,
for you."
we're still pissed off. You guys gonna do your jobs now? Hmm?
Exactly. Yeah,
Because that's what we want. We
that's
want
right.
everybody to do their job. And we're
That's
gonna be
right.
paying from now on.
Exactly.
Apathy
Mhm.
is done over
That's
here.
right. It has to be, or this will happen again.
Exactly. I'm not here for that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this again.
No, no, like, I'm tired just thinking about it. Like,
Uh-huh.
shoot, I'm gonna have to go get some Tang.
Listen, you see these grays, it's tough over here, all right? It's
Yeah,
tough over here.
it is, but we're working on it, we're working on it.
We'll get
Especially
there. We'll get there.
behind the scenes, a lot of people don't realize that, but
A
we
lot
are
of people are working behind the scenes, all right, guys? So what you can
absolutely.
do, check your voter registration because they are doing the shenanigans, okay? They're removing people. Period.
Keep keep them up to date. The
Check when your midterm.
ACLU, also, Democracy Docket, they're
Yes.
giving a lot of really great info.
Yes. Check when your primary dates are for midterms and have yourself a plan in place in November to go vote, whether it be at the polls, if you're going to carpool with people, make sure your community is able to go, or if it's mail in, figure it out now because that's 6 months from now. They're going to be doing some more damage by then.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. Well, Attorney D, thank you so much for
Oh,
shedding
my
some
pleasure.
light on this voting rights tomfoolery. We are on
Yes.
our way to getting this shit under control,
Mhm.
and we will catch you guys later. On top of the Voting Rights Act stuff happening, Democrats have said that they do want to start doing their own redistricting for 2028. So New York, Colorado, Chicago, Maryland, and Mikey Sherrill of New Jersey all said it's on the table.
Yeah.
Would love for it to be this year,
Yeah, and if you look at
but
those maps, we will turn this whole fucking state blue. There won't be a single bit of red in there. If you look at the way
for it.
they drew
There-
Illinois,
there's just people were just
it's
like
blue.
they're like this is what it would look like.
And it was it was all blue.
Yeah, I'll
So,
take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll
uh-huh.
take it.
All right. Nice update. Not
Yay.
good things.
Nope.
Never. Whenever I do a nice update, there's never good things. It's just
It's the worst.
the worst update ever. I'm so sorry. Every time. Jonathan Ross, the ICE agent that murdered Renee Good in broad daylight, was sent back to work in a different state. Yep. Right back to work in a different state. They are not looking at charges right now. They are saying that everything points towards self-defense and told him, get back to work. We'll put you in a different state because probably shouldn't be in Minnesota anymore. The problem with that, though, is you could put him in whatever state you want. We all have eyeballs. We all saw you. So wherever you put him, and they're not saying where they put him. No. But trust, I give it a couple days. They'll spot him. We'll know where he is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen? We all know what
They
you
thought
look
we'd
like,
forget.
sir. In 4K. You could go wherever. Somebody's gonna spot you and be like, "Hi, he's in this state." Again, I give it by the next week, I will tell you what state he's in. Trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will never have there will never you can't hide. No. No. And if you do find him, anyone who lives in that state, let's all make his life a actual living fucking hell. Please and thank you. On top of that, ICE hired a firm to basically track down undocumented children that have come to this country and are not with their families. This firm that they hired to track down children has been accused of torturing, forced disappearance, and inhumane and degrading treatment. There are lawsuits, current lawsuits against this firm, and they said, let's hire them to track down children.
This is literally like cruelty is the point. Like this is literally
This is
it.
the
Like
definition
cruelty
of
is
cruel. Like,
literally.
if we were learning about it, I would just show you this article. There is no, like, way around that. And on top of that, when Aaron Parnas did the video on this, everybody in the comments were like, is anybody not getting, like, other than Aaron Parnas breaking news, is nobody getting anything on social media about ICE anymore? They said that that's not working out too well for us. We need to just start talking about us.
Wipe it.
Huh? Wipe it. Because this time last year, every other video is something about what ICE was doing.
They started that after Alex Preddy got killed.
Yeah. They said,
When
you need
TikTok,
to start fading into the background. Stop doing shit. Lay low.
when they broke TikTok for like a week. Yeah. Ever since then.
So just FYI, because it's not in front of your face, you need to do your own digging. You gotta do your own digging.
They're being quieter about it, but
Yeah,
they're still
that
doing
doesn't
it.
mean that nothing's happening. It just means that you're not hearing about it. And so you need to go online and you need to be looking up. Just type in ICE in Google and then look at the news stories.
Don't wait for it to hit the For You page because it's most likely not.
It's just not, yeah, unfortunately. And a lot of influencers, content creators, they're not covering it anymore. It's
No.
not making them money. All right. Yes, that really did happen. After at the correspondence dinner, Trump was on 60 Minutes. And if you've, for one, seen the picture of him sitting in that chair from that side angle, if you haven't seen that, I suggest you look it up.
It's got that whale tail. You can see it sitting down.
Yikes. But he met with good old Nora. Nora just read the manifesto of the shooter because they always have one. She just read it. She was like, he was saying that he was calling out rapists and pedophiles, and he was like, how fucking dare you, you piece of fucking shit, say that. I knew you would say that, Nora. I fucking
I
knew you
knew
would
you would
say that,
say.
you bitch. I am not a rapist. I am not a pedophile. Nora said, you think he's referring to you? And he said, Nora, shut the fuck up.
Oh, he didn't. He actually didn't mention you.
Nora said, I knew you'd walk right into it. So easy. So easy.
Messing with an old
He
man, Nora.
It was like a switch. The second she started reading it and she read that part, he was like, I knew you would. I fucking knew you guys would do it.
Nasty. How dare you? You shouldn't be
I knew
reading
you would
something
do
like
it.
that.
Because you always do that. You guys are liars. And she was like,
Meanwhile, you own them.
you think this is about you? I was just reading his manifesto.
I was just reading.
But if the shoe fits, damn.
Oh, was he talking about you? Oh, that's
Her face, she was like,
crazy.
you right into it. I didn't have to do shit. I didn't even have to do any follow-up questions, kind of
Literally.
asking, who do you think that he's referring to? She didn't. She was like, okay, case closed. Case
Damn.
closed.
I didn't even know he was talking about you. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy. And then he announced that we got to do some PR work for ICE. Things aren't looking too good. So why don't we change the name from ICE to NICE?
We're dead naming that shit.
NICE.
We're gonna dead name it. Same way we call it Twitter. Let them do that themselves.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not. This is what I mean by it's like a 3-year-old. What if we call it NICE? I just know he brought it up during some serious meeting that had nothing to do with ICE. And he was like, ooh, 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 ooh. What if We call it nice.
in the war room.
They're like,
All right,
"Oh,
so this is where we're gonna steal the Iranians' enriched uranium. Hey guys,
stop,
what if we call ice nice?
nice." And everyone's like,
Mhm.
"Sure,
Yes, get him
sure."
the fuck out of here now.
He's like,
The fuck is this guy
I already
talking about?
posted on True Social, so
That means it's a law. That's what Steven told me.
don't ask me what the N stands for." The Artemis astronaut crew, they had to go to the White House. Okay, they didn't have a choice. They didn't. I will give them that. They didn't have a choice, but they were not happy about it. They looked like they were all being held hostage.
Their arms were literally folded.
Their arms were folded, no smiles. They were standing behind him at his desk. He didn't even stand up. He
He
didn't
can't.
he
He
Ass
can't.
is just glued to that seat. Ass is filling that seat up.
Diaper too heavy.
Yeah. And they were just like, "You know what? No, you sit. We'll be back here." He's going on a tangent about people going up to space and people who would never go up to space and NASA and money. He's just talking. They are not listening. They're just like counting the seconds. They're like, my contract with NASA says I only have to be here for 5 fucking minutes. So what they did is very funny is they took that and then they played the past years that this same crew went and met Joe Biden, went and met Kamala Harris.
Oh, they were jazzed up.
Yeah.
It
Taking
was a Hallmark card.
pictures. Yeah, it
The
was like a
picture of
whole
them meeting Kamala, just like
meeting in the hallway, chatting in the hallway. Not a good look. I actually, as much as I hate and I get on here and I get so mad when celebrities and athletes willingly go to the White House. The reason I'm not getting on the Artemis cruise because they work for NASA, like they're a level, like they gotta go.
they're
But what I
they're federal
love
government.
about it is that it proved that you don't have to pretend. You don't have to do the whole.
Oh my god, you're so funny, Mr. President.
Do you have a Big Mac? Let's have cold McDonald's together, and you're so nice. You can hold the hockey puck. Like
Yeah.
if he was like, "Can I put on your spacesuit?" They would have been like, "No."
Yeah, they sat there and filled the room with negative energy.
Just silence. They were like, "I legally have to be here, but I'm not happy about it." I love that energy. I love it. I love it. We got so many memes out of that.
Mhm.
So many memes. And to round it out, the woman who won't fucking go away, Erica Kirk,
The one that no one invited.
she put on her best Janet Jackson backup dancer outfit, hat and all, and sat in front of the camera because she needed to address us making fun of her at the Correspondents' Dinner. Well, not only did she feel the need to clarify why she was there when nobody asked, we just assume you would be anywhere but with your kids, so of course you were at the Correspondents' Dinner. But she said she went there strictly to confront journalists. She confronted them all, guys. She got in their faces. It's all on video. That doesn't exist because, girl, you were at that dinner for like 5 minutes before the shooting happened.
I
Mean.
just wanna go home.
Um, the part about it is that whoever does the editing for the video left about 10 seconds of her staring directly into the camera.
Was that real or was
It's
that AI?
real. It's real. It is absolutely real. 100% real. If you watch the video, the full video, because she posted cuts of it, but then there's one post where it's the whole thing. She is just heavily breathing as if fire was coming out of her nose, staring at the camera. You've seen
I
it.
didn't want it to be one of the situations where it was AI. I was like, if it was, I don't wanna know, because it's real to me.
It is real. Daggers
Even
in her
better.
eyes, just
Looking like Slim Shady, Sonya Blade,
somebody was
looking
like,
like she's
"Why are
gonna
you
mug
dressed like the
you.
man who apparently shot and killed your husband?"
Yeah, everyone's like, "Why is she dressed like an assassin?"
Just like, girl, black isn't your color.
Literally dressed like a sniper.
The hat took it way too far.
That's a sniper hat, if I've ever seen one. We gotta check the footage of the
She
roof
said,
again.
"I mean business," and we were like, it's like the substitute teacher that's like,
Guys, I'm serious.
serious. Boo!
Stop saying I killed my husband. You're dressed like it though.
You're not. Yeah. Then why are you cosplaying it as
Then why do you literally look like
like, girl, why are you trying to convince us?
you're doing a horrible job?
It would have been so much
It's not
better if
working.
you just went home. Girl, go home. We can't make fun of
And
you if you're not on camera everywhere and you're at home with your kids.
just have that clip of her just breathing heavy forever.
Girl,
Me when my kids won't stay in bed.
just play that for them. They go to bed real fast. Like, grabbing the table, she's like, "Is this an audition for, like, a horror film?" Erica, for the love of God, please go. I am begging you.
Leave us alone.
I am
Please.
begging you to just please go be a mother.
Please, your kids miss you.
It's okay. It's okay. Go home. You did.
It's alright.
Go home, girl.
Shabbat shalom.
I've been, yeah, she also called out Drewski. Girl, you're like a month too late.
Yeah, that already passed.
Old news.
I don't know what you've been doing. She's been busy calling out the journalists.
Yeah, guys, if you're
She finally got the
watch out.
Drewski.
She's coming for you.
Yeah, we're next.
Well, that's all we have for this week. Just,
Yeah.
rights being stripped away left and right. Please vote. I love God. I'm
Please.
begging you to vote.
Stop finding reasons not to.
Tune in every Thursday for Chat GRC. We're still interviewing candidates every single week. Primaries are coming up, guys. We're in May, and there are some primaries in May. Please pay attention.
Please.
Stay safe out there. And I'm so sorry if you had a flight on Spirit. Hope you find
Rip.
another one. Check Frontier. That's all we got. Bye, guys.
That's what we got.